Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you Game 5 of a best of 5 between Scuf and Stardekk in the semi-finals of the Division 1 playoffs of the WARNO League. Today they are playing on Airport Duel, and on our left, in the red team, we have Scuf playing with the 79th Guards. And on our right, in the blue team, we have Stardekk using the 1st UK Armoured Division. Very interesting division matchup today. But all to play for, since this is Game 5, the winner will go on to the Grand Final to play for a considerable prize pool. Let's have a quick look at what's going down here. So BMP2s with Montrazvedka for Scuf. Then we got the MI2s. There's going to be a BMP2 with Modostrauki, MI24V, AT, Conkers, and a BRDM2U. He either hasn't deployed all his forces, or there's a lot of aircraft coming. On the side of Stardekk, it's going to be 4 Gazelle rockets at the start with the Sultan. Gazelles at the front here. We've got 2 Terriers Para with the Carl Gustav. The Rover Milans, another Terrier Para. There's going to be 4 Scorpions at the start of the game with another Gazelle. And then on the bottom side, we've got the Warrior Applique with the Challenger Mark III. And the Javelin there. So a nice well-rounded force. You know, he's got some decent recon and forward deploy going on. And then he's going to back it up with the Warrior Applique Challenger push wherever he ends up. He's just got to be a little bit careful about enemy aircraft because he hasn't really brought much AA at all. There's no like track rapier. There's not like more rovers with javelins. I guess, yeah, I was going to say maybe he has a tornado up his sleeve. So the Tornado F3 coming in to cover the skies early on. But let's see what happens on the side of Scuf. Yeah, he's brought in his own aircraft. So he's got a MiG-23 and a MiG-29. And then 2 Su-25s. Okay, interesting. Su-25s with 80mm rockets, Su-25 with those air-to-ground missiles. The MiG-23 coming in there, trying to take down the Gazelle early on. Tornado F3 is taking a wide berth. He doesn't really want to go into a 2v1. So it's a bit of a sticky situation with the Tornado. What Stardekk's probably going to do is try and wait for the second Tornado so that he can buy it and then 2v1 the MiG or something. But if he gets hit, that's going to be a bad time. Gazelle goes down. Su-25s coming in for the Scorpions. Scorpions are going to smoke themselves off. Tornado's trying to sling more sky flashes, but not managing to find one on target just yet. Now the MiG-23 diving deep. Second Tornado coming out. Does find the MiG-23, so timed it nicely, but doesn't work out in his favor as the MiG-29 comes across and gets the kill. So he trades a MiG-23 for a Tornado F3. It's not a good trade for Stardekk because those MiG-23s are pretty cheap, but the MiG-29 is the one you want to kill. Especially with that 65% accurate R73. Like if he's going to try and rely on the Gazelles here, those MiG-29s have got to go down. Just like that, another Gazelle drops out the sky. The Warrior Applique gets hit massively by the rockets there, but manages to survive. These things are pretty tanky. The Warrior Applique has 4 front and 4 side armor, so able to tank up those rockets. Now it's just the Su-25AT that's kind of scary for the Warrior Applique and also the Scorpions moving up here. The Challenger Mark III is currently just hiding in the middle of the map so that it doesn't get killed. But here comes the Su-25. 1 Scorpion down, looking for the second 2. Finds another one. Ends up getting shot down. Nice kill. Tornado F3 gets the sky flash on target. I think the Javelin also managed to hit the mark, so yeah, really, really nice. Stopping this airplay at the start from Scuf is absolutely huge, mainly because it's going to take ages for Scuf to get stuff to the front line. Like if you zoom out on Airport Duel, look how far you have to drive in order to get to the front line. So any initial engagements like this, reliant on aircraft, is really, really good when it goes in your favor if you have loads of stuff on the ground already. So like in this case, there's great potential for Stardekk to take a lot of ground because he has the forces to push still. Although the Mi-24V is still going to make things difficult. The Javelin's moving forwards to try and get shots on target, but that thing, not the most reliable of man-pads. Meanwhile, BMP-2, oh no! Oh, the Challenger Mark III, so lucky there not to get side shot by the Conkers. It wouldn't have one-shot the tank, but it would have been pretty horrific. Big damage that might have allowed another airstrike to come in and finish the job. Especially like a rocket Su-25 or something nice and cheap comes and does the job. But BMP-2 actually finds the Sultan, which is really, really bad news because now Stardekk isn't going to have anything to capture the middle of the map, which means he's just going to lose more and more points here. The Warrior Playgate also went down. Can the Tornadoes kill off the MiG-29? They can, and the OSA is not going to be able to kill the Tornado. That Tornado is going to survive on a slither of health. That is absolutely wild. Oh no. The change in direction there might cause that Tornado to go down. The OSA, can it hit the second shot? It does not. MiG-23 MLD doesn't have any more long-range missiles, so that's not going to be able to finish the job. Got away with that one. But what he's not getting away with is this massive conquest lead that Scuf is currently ticking up. Without that leader, even with all of the units in position here, he's not able to make any ground. It seems like whenever he was trying to push, you know, the assets are just enough to hold him back. The Terrier Para is going to be able to move into the sector at least. That would cover, in theory, the Sultan from moving in. But the Motorized Vertica here would see that. I mean, they're going to see basically everything that's happening on the backside here. The Conkers is going to prevent this warrior from supporting on that top side. It's going to have to come down if it wants to get shots on target, which can be a lot harder because there's way more sight blockers further down than there is further up. Like if he can have the warrior here and shoot into the side of this sector, it's great. But if it's here, then he has to like play around with the hangers in order to get the shots on target. Nice kill though. Tornado GR1 with the seed missiles coming in to take out the Mi-24, and that's a nice choice because these things have 40% ECM. He knows there's an OSA around, so he can basically freely dive the helicopter and then also potentially kill the OSA, like if it tries to turn on and kill him. Now in this case, Su-25 trying to get the R-60 on target. Oh, MiG-23 MLD! Oh, if the R-24R had hit the mark, that would have been really, really bad news for Stardekk, but it didn't, so he gets away with it once again. Terrier's Para engaging the Motostrelki here. Should clean them up nicely, but oh, what is this? Su-25 gets the Warrior a Plague. Tornado GR1 with Seed, and the Tornado F3 trying to take down the MiG-23. Rapier actually finishes the job. Very nice. OSA turns itself on. The alarm does not hit the mark though. Oh no, that Seed is going down. It misses its Seed missile, gets hit with 40% ECM. Yeah, his luck ran out. And the Tornado goes down. So, large investment into these aircraft. I mean, these aren't cheap. I mean, the Tornado F3 is 250 points. The Tornado Seed's like significantly more. So, yeah, it hurts when you lose those aircraft because it is helping him control the game against the 79th. But at the same time, there's two problems with it. The first is the 79th doesn't rely too much on their air. So even if you do get control of the air, it doesn't matter too much in the long run. And then you have just a lot of aircraft that can't really help you out elsewhere. Second thing is, your stuff just costs way more than his. Like a MiG-23 ML, it's 145 points. So when he's losing MiGs, like the MiG-23s to the Tornadoes, it's like 100 points difference. And that's really starting to build up now on the front as the reinforcements are finally starting to arrive on the side of Scuf. The Sultan has moved in here, but in sight of the Motorized, Scorpion's trying to move up to the top side. Maybe, just maybe, if Stardekk can identify that Emo's not very well defended, he could get some units in there. But at the moment, Striker in the middle, trying to hold off the BRDM from capping that, or not able to get the kill. Gets behind cover just in time. This infantry in a tough spot. The Trek Rapier is trying to move up as well, because the next thing we're probably going to see here is maybe the MiG-23 is just trying to like strafe this infantry. Like, as soon as the Motorstrelky like moves in here, you'd strafe the Javelin and you'd strafe the Terriers. Because you wouldn't know necessarily that the Trek Rapier is here. Like, it did kill the aircraft further back, but you don't know where that's gone. It could have gone further up here. It obviously could have come down here. But you'd still go for the strafe, I imagine. So Terrier Paras, they've moved up. They're now getting engaged by the BMP-2 though. It's a nice thing about the BMP-2 and Motorstrelky combo is that you've got decent fire support with very good optics. So the Motorstrelky provides very good optics, and the BMP-2 can engage with the 30mm. And then even if like the Motorstrelky dies or the Motorstrelky has to move, the BMP-2 can still move up and use its good optics when it's a little bit closer to do the same. Terriers here with the Striker, clean up the BMP-2, but the Motorstrelky might be enough to finish the job. He just doesn't want to get too close to the Terriers here because they have shock. So he doesn't want to give him that advantage. He's just going to wait for the BMP to arrive, get the autocannon shots on target, and finish him off from a distance. Gazelle coming in with the rockets. Going to do a decent amount of damage to the BMP-2 and the Motorstrelky there, but he's going to run out quickly, and now the OSA shooting them down. Unfortunately, it feels like Stardekk is just running out of steam here. He hasn't been able to keep up the pace. Like, Scuf has been relying more on like APC bound infantry rather than actual tanks. Whereas like the Challengers being brought in here, like the Challenger Mark II on the bottom side, the Challenger Mark III to the mid for Stardekk is just like too expensive compared to like the BMP-2 like plus Motorstrelky that Scuf has been buying. Like, if you think about the price of a Challenger Mark III, that's 2.5 units of BMP-2 with infantry. Like, that's quite a big difference, and that's basically what makes up the difference on the map at the moment. And since Scuf already had a good position early on, been able to get back into that position with the reinforcements as well. And now it's just getting harder and harder for Stardekk, who's slowly bleeding out here, which is kind of tragic after what was a quite exciting semi-final across the board. The first two games especially just made me really, really excited for this series as a whole. This last game, unfortunately, I feel like maybe a poor decision on division and maybe a poor decision of units in the division has kind of led to a double whammy of poor positioning and inefficiency across this map. So yeah, MiG-29 just going to be keep hovering around. The Tornadoes can't really do anything because like if they try and dive the MiG-29, the OSAs will just shoot them down. So the Tornadoes are really just a response to any attack aircraft that come in that probably won't be coming in anymore because he doesn't need them. And then whilst Scuf kind of sits on his positions here, he can start to reinforce with tanks, so we'll start to see T-80s arriving. Yeah, this one in the middle that's already arrived. OSA takes down the Lynx AH-7 Holom. It's pretty far forwards now, so again, it kind of makes these Tornadoes a lot harder to use. Jaguar actually being purchased. What's that going for the bomb strike on? Wait, there's no way that's actually being targeted onto the MiG-29. Okay. He is bombing where he thought the OSA was. Now KUB hits the F3 and the OSAs shoot down the Jaguar. Yeah. Like, getting value out of your aircraft in this situation is just not happening. The only thing that I would say that, like, how would, like, if I was playing on the side of Stardekk right now, how would you get out of this position? I think maybe trying to get as much value as you can out of the Warrior Plaqué. The Warrior Plaqué can probably beat the BMP-2 in most situations because of its Milan 2, and the 30mm autocannon with the 4 armor, compared to like the 4 armor on the BMP2, but it's got a worse HGM, and its gun I think is slightly worse as well, like in terms of damage. Actually no, more or less the same. So, I don't know. I feel like the warrior plays should just win that engagement, generally speaking, because of the HGM anyway. So you just spam warrior plays, try and get your infantry back into some of these points. It's good that he's identified that this might be a weak point on the top side. Got the Sultan over there, but the Su-25 is sniffing. Motostrauki, oh, free kill though. And the Tornado, it's whiffing all its missiles. Oh no. Oh no. Can he get the last shot on target? Su-25 escapes, Gazelles both go down. Challenger does kill the Osa. That is going to free up the Tornado a little bit on the top side here. And good hit by the Sky Flash there to stop the Su-25 AT from causing any problems. The Osa is going to force that back. Now the Seed comes in. But no ammo left on the Cub, so that's not going to be able to be targeted. Just the Osa on the bottom side. That Sultan, it needs to get into Emma as quickly as possible if he wants to slow down the game. Still a +4 for Scuf right now, and he wins in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Like when I used to play 1v1, I always hate this map because I always felt like the start of the game determined who won, like the first 5 to 10 minutes. And you can see here that it has basically been the case. It's really, really difficult to get back in unless you have like a really fast flanking division. Like a division that can put pressure on different parts of the map very fast, but that is not something that Stardekk has. The Cub does get resupplied and then takes a Seed missile to the face. Tornado F3 is going to try and hunt the MiG-23 here. Meanwhile, the Tornado with the Seed does manage to dive into the Mi-24. Thought the helicopter was necessary. Feels like Scuf kind of just gave him a free kill there. Osa actually gets turned off, but doesn't get a chance to shoot the Tornado F3. Didn't really want to take the bet that the Tornado wouldn't hit with its alarm. So the Tornado was allowed to get out. A couple good kills, honestly, back in Stardekk's favour. Looks like the Warrior Plique here has found the Motostrauki as well. The Armoured Rifle is going to continue to move forward. Sultana is pushing into that sector there. But that's going to bring it down to a +2, which is still not good news for Stardekk in this game. Challenger getting held at arm's distance by the Conquerors here. And takes a second hit down to low cohesion. That is rough as the T-80s are starting to make a move with the BMP2s in support. And you can see that all that Scuf's done is just continue to buy more and more BMP2s with infantry. He's got a T-80 to solidify his positions as well. So I feel like if, you know, Stardekk did the same, just focus on warrior pliques rather than bringing in the challengers, then he'd be having a lot better time now. So Gazelle at least going to be able to spot the Motostrauki here, allow the warrior plique to engage. Challenger might be able to drive up and kill the Conquerors up in the tower. That's all of the infantry in the middle wiped out. Nothing else here to push. I mean, what's the next infantry unit that's coming in? This one, as well as the SAS patrol. Motostrauki go down. Bonkers still putting in work as the Ural here just constantly resupplying that. Now the Warrior Plique in trouble. Does manage to duck behind cover, but the Challenger Mark II stunned, forced back. So all the reinforcements I would assume is just going to start coming into this top side, although there is one more Motostrauki going to the mid. He just gets Motostrauki in here with BMP1s, overwhelms the little number of warrior pliques that were around, and that's job done. M109 looking to try and kill the Conquerors. Does manage to find the kill at least, so that's good. Again, keeping it close to the front line reduces dispersion, lowers travel time on those rounds. It makes it a lot harder to dodge. Osa cleaning out the Gazelle nice and easy. Another Jaguar purchased. I mean, at this point, I would say like investing into aircraft is better than investing into the ground, because you don't have time to invest into the ground. It's going to take like 3 minutes for your units to get to the front line now anyway. So yeah, now these Jaguars just got to hit the mark. Will they get scared off? Tornado does manage to find the Osa. Didn't turn that off in time. MiG-23 is still hanging about though. Going to be looking for the Jaguar. Do you manage to hit it? Force it away. Another Tornado F3. Gonna get some kills in here. It does manage to shoot down 2 of them. So MiG-29, MiG-23 going down. But none of this air engagement is going to help Stardekk win this game. Or get back into this game. Especially if the Osa pops that Tornado out of the sky. Getting the Challenger Mark II in is a good idea. And that's a start. But he's now 1,750 points behind. M109 trying its best to kill the Conkers here. Does manage to take it out. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit happen, but another Conkers gonna kill a Striker. SAS Patrol. They did their best, but that L96 can only do so much against the AK-74 and RPKs of the Moskva. Because the rest of the SAS Patrol weapons are just MP5s, they've only got like 500 meter range, so the Moskva, they're actually outranging them with their guns. Now Sultan's died on the top to the Su-25. He can't full cap the mid. Oh, Su-25. Go for the M109. Rapier, unfortunately, missing the first shot means it's likely not to get the kill. T-80 kills the Challenger Mark II. And there it is, that's the kill shot right there. As soon as Scuf recaps this, it is no time at all until Stardekk is knocked out of the semi-final and Scuf wins it and moves on to the grand final. Honestly, just solid play here from Scuf in this last game. I think Scuf's been a little bit inconsistent throughout the series, but this last game when it was all on the line, yeah, he had a game plan. You know, he brought up 4 aircraft at the start of the game. That is not something you see very often. And he made it work. So, you know, props to him. I think what ended up happening is Stardekk just ended up investing too much into securing the air against what was going to be limited airstrikes coming in from the 79th over time. But yeah, both of these challenges, they got side shots. They're going to be backing up. Striker goes down to the T-80. T-80 smells blood. Another Striker going down there. They have really bad stealth. Conkers hitting the front armor of the Mark III. So not doing much damage that time around. M109 still hunting for Conkers, but time is running out. 1 minute left on the clock. Stardekk looks like he's just going to play it out. Probably doesn't feel too happy about how he's played this one. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, challenges aren't going to win you this game. And your opponent's just spamming BMP2s. Challenges are probably one of like the least impactful tanks in the entire game actually as well. So that doesn't help either. And they have been made a lot cheaper over time, so that does help, but and even with this cluster hitting the T-80, it's not going to get the kill. And Monostrelki, oh, right in the smoke. Scuf knew what he was trying to do. Had the Monostrelki in position. And whilst that does decap the sector, Stardekk realizes that was the last hurrah. And after 22 minutes and 45 seconds, 4,300 kills to 2,960 losses for Scuf. Not a huge KD, but one that's more than enough to secure the ground on a map like Airfield or Airport Duel. So, yeah, tough one. I mean, the initial opener didn't really get that much in value. I mean, it put some pressure on, I suppose. It slowed down the push that Stardekk was trying to make, because you can't like just keep running forwards into an SU-25 or two. So that did slow him down a lot, and then it allowed Scuf's units to get into position. So it worked out nicely in terms of positioning, but yeah, in terms of kills, nothing until like the tornado was fed there. Osa's really, really good in this game. I mean, getting them up early to the front line was super impactful. When I saw him have not much on the front line and then just buy 2 Osas, I was wondering like why, but then it did pay off. So he had the right idea. Tornado F3, it did okay. Tornado C did okay as well, especially with the dives onto the helicopters. But none of that mattered. The 79th doesn't really play around its helicopters. It doesn't play around its aircraft. It plays around its ground forces. And so if you start countering its aircraft, you're just not going to be able to deal with the ground forces. And that's basically what happened. So, yeah, I think, you know, Warrior Plique was the way to go there. Just keep bringing them in. Get as much position as possible. And then you can start to think about bringing in your Jaguars and stuff to just melt positions that you need to push into. But alas, decent series. Went to all 5 games, which is what you like to see. But yeah, fantastic stuff. It's going to be now Woe Is Me versus Scuf in the final. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one, but look forward to the grand final. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.